Hello. I just want to spend a few minutes going over some important parts of the syllabus. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I know that you can do that perfectly fine on your own. So, okay, we're just going to take a quick peek. This is ECED 4563, Classroom Management. I hope this course is useful for you in planning your own classroom and learning how to set up the kind of environment that really reduces behaviors that you're not looking for. Okay. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I do want to point out a few salient points. You've got all the assignments in here. We'll go over those week by week, so we're not going to do it now. Here is a list of all the assignments and the 440 points that you have available to you, and this is how it breaks out as far as the grading goes, so you know exactly what grade you are going to earn based on the points you've accumulated. So when we look at the AI policy in this class, artificial intelligence, the use of artificial intelligence in actually completing assignments is prohibited because I want to see what you know and what you have to say, not what an AI bot has to say. So please be aware that it's very obvious when someone's used AI and cut and pasted it from ChatGPT or something like that, and that will constitute plagiarism. And obviously, it's not your own work, so you could go to the NSU Student Handbook and refresh yourself on what happens with plagiarism. Don't do it. Use your own brain to finish your assignments and post them in your own words. Okay. Communication with me, the easiest way to communicate with me is by email. And you'll know that I am always on my email and I'll respond to you as quickly as I can. It'll probably be within an hour or two. And unless you send it in the middle of the night. Okay, then you'll have to wait till morning. Attendance is just the fact that you're on Blackboard, that you're completing your assignments on time constitutes your weekly attendance. If you are unable to attend, please contact me, especially before an assignment is late. If you have an emergency, we'll try to work out something. Okay. Mechanics, always follow the instructions of the assignment. You're going to use APA, 1-inch margins. You're going to have 12 font, New Times Roman or Arial, double spaced, no extra spaces between paragraphs. Assignment due dates and times. All assignments are due on Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. That makes it easier on people that work all week, and that way you have the weekend to complete your readings and your assignments. The only time this is going to change is in week 16 because it ends on a Friday, so you will have to finish your final before the semester ends, which would be 11:59 on Friday that week. Grading, everything we do in here is done with a rubric, and you're going to, and I'll show you how to access that rubric in just a minute by going to one of the assignments. Turnaround time, I will do my very best to get everything graded within a week that you turn in. It's a rare week that something will extend beyond that. Late work is accepted for 4 calendar days at 50% deduction off the earned total. Calendar days are all days, including Saturday and Sunday. There is no extra credit available because I think it's unfair for me to offer one student extra credit and not offer it to all my students in all my classes. That would be the only way to make it fair. And the same thing goes for an assignment redo. I think we've all had assignments that we wished we could redo because now we have a better understanding. However, again, it's not fair for me to offer one student a redo if I'm not willing to offer all my students in all my classes a redo. The academic alert notice is the same as it is throughout NSU. You can read through that. Same thing with plagiarism. Do your own work. If you want to refresh yourself on what plagiarism is, you can read this. You can go to the NSU Student Handbook. Also, the academic policies are all spelled out in the Academic Affairs link. If you have need of any support services, such as student disability services, they're all right here. These links will take you there. So you can read through that and you can complete there. Okay. The back end of this is your course calendar, and it takes you through the whole semester. You'll notice everything is open for you. I do not recommend that you work too far ahead, because I think sometimes when you rush through it that much, you don't absorb anything. Okay. And this particular calendar here is also in the bottom part of this, and that way you don't have to go through the entire syllabus to look at the course calendar. It's right here. Okay, and that's just for convenience. Okay, so I do want to show you about the grading. So I'm going to go to module 2, and I'm going to pretend that I'm turning in my observation notes. Okay, and you'll see here, this item is graded with a rubric. Well, they all are, and you can just go there. And the rubric is right here, Bella, and you can read through this. And in the difference between exceeds and meets is always the same. It all depends on the amount of details and examples. Approaches is, like one very short little sentence. You may include everything in that short little sentence, but it's going to take more than that to meet expectations, because this is a 4,000 level class and we expect a little bit more than that. And then that does not meet, just either you turn in nothing for that particular piece, or it has nothing to do with that particular piece, and so on and so forth. And then we go down to Elijah's and then Brad. So you can always go to the grading rubric for any assignment. If you want to see the instructions, go here. The instructions for assignments are also in your learning activities. I always have a how-to for every single assignment. You'll have a how-to. You'll hear me yak, 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 yak about how to do it. And so that is that. And you'll have your activities here. You can go through. And mainly, I just want to say, if you have any questions about the syllabus, any questions about a particular assignment that we have due this week or coming up in the future, please let me know. I'm available. I'm happy to set up a Zoom visit with you. I want this to be a really great semester for you, and I hope it's going to be a good learning experience. Have a great day. Bye-bye.